Hi everybody, welcome to the Messy Cook by Dale. Thanks so much for joining me today. Today I'm going to be making Dale's stone soup. Now, stone soup, you ask? What is this? Well, I'm calling it that because of a story that I was reminded of years ago. When I was a child, I was told this story and it really stayed with me. This story comes from about the 16th or 17th century. They're not quite sure when. And it's a story about a traveler, stranger, who was traveling in the countryside, and he came across this village, and he thought a very nice village, but he was really hungry. So he stopped and he knocked on the first door, and he said, hello, I'm very hungry. Do you have any food to spare? And the villagers were very suspicious of strangers, and they said, no, I don't have any food. It was a bad year and for harvest, and they closed the door. So he thought, oh, okay. So he went a little further. While he was going to the next house, he stopped and picked up a couple of stones and put it in his satchel. Came to the second house, asked the same question. No, we don't have any food. Be gone. So by this time, the villagers were starting to gather in the circle, in the square, and they were very curious about the stranger. So he turned to them all and he said, look, he says, I know you're all hungry, but I have some magic stones in my satchel and I can make stone soup. Most delicious thing you've ever had. So they were very intrigued at this point. And they said, stone soup? He said, yes, all I need is a big pot and some water. And the villagers said, I've got a pot and water. And they went and got it. And in the middle of the square, they put a fire up and they started to boil these stones with water. And the stranger, tasted it and said, this is absolutely delicious, but it could use salt and pepper. And one villager in the back said, I've got salt and pepper. Went, got salt and pepper, put it in the soup. Absolutely delicious. The stranger tasted it again. Perfect, but I could really use cabbage for this. If this had cabbage in the soup, it would be perfect. So a villager from the back again said, I have some cabbage. Went to get the cabbage, put it in the soup. They cooked it. The stranger then tried it again and said, yes, but you know what? If we had carrots and onions and maybe rutabagas and some, carrots, like I said, potatoes, mushrooms, whatever. So they got all this, put it in the soup, and it was absolutely delicious. They cooked it up. When it was done, the stranger said, okay, I'm going to share it all with you. So they got out their tables and chairs and their bowls, and they all had a big feast of this beautiful, beautiful tasting soup. So the stranger left, thanked them all, left. They were very intrigued with him. And that was the end of the story. So we never knew whether the villagers caught on with what he was doing, but I remembered that story. So I call this my stone soup because I'm taking veggies from my fridge that were ready to go. I had stuff in my pantry that was ready to go, and I thought, well, I'm going to put together what I call a stone soup, which is all these different ingredients, and hope that it turns out well, and I sure will. All right, so first I took an onion and I am frying it up in a couple of tablespoons of olive oil with some porcini mushrooms that I had left over from another dish, and some garlic, about 3-4 cloves of garlic. Okay, so that has been working its thing for a little while. To that, I'm going to add some potatoes and carrots. Now these have been steamed. They're, again, leftovers from another meal, and I'm just going to throw them in. Throw them in there. That goes in. I've got cauliflower, which I made another recipe, and I had this left over, so I'm going to throw that in as well. I've got some leeks here that were fried up, and I had, again, for yet another recipe. So throw those in. Okay, next will be some stock. This is vegetable stock, because this is a vegetarian dish. And I've got some navy beans. Now, I looked in my pantry. I didn't have any canned navy beans. I had the dried ones, and I've had them forever. So I think it was time to use them. So what I did was I soaked them for a few hours, and then I boiled them for about an hour and a half until they got nice and soft. And that's what we're going to use in here for the protein, to get the protein. And this is the boiling liquid. It has all the nutrients from the beans, so I thought I would add that as well. and it also is a thickening agent for the soup. All right, so come take a look at this, Dan. Look at this.
What's the kale? You want to put the kale in?
Yep, the kale goes in a minute. I'm going to bring this to a boil. We're going to add some cayenne pepper, give it a bit of a kick. So how much? I'm going to say about a teaspoonish. I'll have the recipe underneath, but as far as amounts are concerned, I don't know.
It's in the comments, right?
It's in the comments. Yeah, the recipe always is. But as far as this recipe is concerned, I don't know exactly what I had. But this is the kind of recipe you just throw everything in and that's the end of it. Okay, and to that I'm going to add some pepper, freshly ground pepper. And of course you can season this as you go along as well. Pepper, some salt, a good sprinkling of salt. This is kosher salt. There's that. And this kale I had left over as well. It's been steamed, so it's part boiled or partly cooked. That'll go in there too. I mean, this is all going to be whizzed up, by the way. I'm going to use my immersion blender when this is all ready and make a nice cream soup. All right, so I'm going to cook this for about 20 minutes until the veggies, or the cauliflower specifically, is done. Bring it to a boil. And then if I have to add more liquid, I'll add more liquid. I might add more stock, or see what I have in the fridge. I might have some wine, maybe. We'll see. Whatever. All right, so I'll see you back here. I'm going to be back in about 20 minutes or so, and I'll see you in a couple of seconds. All right, see you in a bit. Hi, everybody. Welcome back. So here's my stone soup. Vegetable soup, really. And I did add a little bit more vegetable stock, and I'm using my immersion blender to blend it up a little bit. So I'm in the process of doing that. The apartment smells absolutely delicious, huh, Dan? Dan went to get some bread. We got a nice baguette, and when he walked in, he went, "Oh, it smells so good." So you can blend this up as much as you want or as little as you want. If you want to have chunky pieces, that's entirely up to you. And again, as far as ingredients are concerned, anything goes. You start with some vegetable broth or some chicken broth or whatever, and you just start adding to it. I mean, you can't really go wrong. Okay, so I'm going to add, because I didn't have any heavy cream, and again, I only used what I had in the house. I had some leftover milk that I wanted to use, whole milk, and some half and half coffee cream. So I'm going to put that in here. This is about 1 2/3 of a cup. Put this in here just to bring some richness to it. Yeah, put it all in. Okay, so I've got, I guess I had about a cup of cream and another 1/3 or 2/3 of milk. Look at this. This looks so good. So delicious. Okay, so I'm going to try it. I'm going to adjust the seasoning, but I really think it's okay. Make sure that's well incorporated. I still have a potato in there. Okay, cool. Let me take a clean spoon. Oh, that's pretty good. Really good. Let me put some salt in here, just a little bit. And some more cracked black pepper. And there is my stone soup. Okay, let me serve myself up some. Oops. Oh, this looks so good. It's creamy. It's flavorful. Look at this, Dan. So good. Let me get that spoon. Beautiful. Take a clean spoon because Casey's been around. Okay, going to give it a try. I like it. Lovely. Bit of parsley in there for look. And there you have it. You can also top it off with some chives if you want, or whatever. It's entirely up to you. So this is my stone soup. Thank you so much for joining me today and hanging out and watching me make this wonderful soup. Remember to, if you like it and you want to try it, please give me a thumbs up, share, and subscribe. I really appreciate that. Be kind to yourself. Be generous and share. And just like the fable says, as we must do. And stay safe. And we are going to be sharing today, Dan. We are going to share our stone soup with Max and Matthew and Judy. So everybody's going to get a little bit. We're going to do some drop-offs. All right, so see you guys next time. Stay safe and remember to always forget the mess. See you next time.